Hey, welcome back, Adrenaline Junkies. This is West Coast Paul here on Styling Radio, and you're listening to the Pure Adrenaline Show. We are sponsored by NOS Energy Drinks, and believe you me, man, that's how we stay energized. And you know what? This hour, well, hey, first off, as I do, I'm in the booth with my co-host Izzy. What up, Izzy?
Yeah, what's up? What's up? So
Hey,
so you want to bitch about non-Snow White?
Well, but what I want to do is I know there's something that we want to get into in a minute, but I want to kind of continue from the last one, remakes, because I was laughing at myself of movie remakes, other remakes, and I think I found the ultimate remake of a remake of a remake and how far back it goes. It's so funny. As everybody knows, the new movie from Disney coming out, Snow White. It's part. Why I want to talk a little bit about it, it's a musical, and it's apparently, pretty good. There's a huge controversy about it. It's why the movie was delayed in release probably a year and a half from so much of the woke political correct shit in it that they're trying, to get rid of so people won't, the not want to be part of it for the crap. What is it? The dwarfs are called something else now.
Yeah,
and,
you can't call a midget a dwarf, or you can't call them a little people. It's like fucking
something. Yeah, and like I know people that coming out in the movie, Rachel Zegler's playing Snow White, and if somebody said there's no snow and she's not white, and I'm going, yeah, and going, I get it. I do. I hope the movie is outstanding, and it has been huge. I think the biggest problem that people have had with it is that Disney went out and they publicly said, we're intentionally woking you. And people are low. No, time out. We don't want that shit. But something, positive is she's had some great things. She knows about some of the controversy, and she's been outstanding in interviews with it. Like she says, people have passion for Snow White. That character's been out for a long time, and people are a little resistant to change. We still are, and honestly, the people who know Snow White are up there in years. And because the original Disney thing came out, I think in the 30s, but Snow White, as a history of it, it was a German fairy tale. And most people don't know that. My wife, she's a librarian, so she knows pretty much everything about anything if it goes back and it's in writing. And the story itself was first written down in the early 19th century. The Brothers Grimm actually published it originally in 1812. So if you think about how far back Snow White goes and how many, technically the original movie was a remake per se, or an adaptation of the Brothers Grimm, fairy tale or the book and what they published and how they did their things. This thing is not in its first, thing, but yeah, people are complaining. Wait a minute, it's an old German, et cetera, and now they're changing all the characters and doing this and that. And I got to tell you, from talking to the I say younger generation, what they're going is, we don't care. We realize Snow White had this certain thing, but in today's world, it's like a remake, like Total Recall, how they would change it and do it. In this remake with Snow White, it's just kind of a name. It's not Snow and White. And how they referenced it out, it's a movie that, they've said, hey, listen, we don't have to stick to certain character norms or do this. Now, some of the woke crap in it, I was like, shame on you, Disney, because that went too far. Not wanting to label them the Seven Dwarfs because it might offend somebody, or intentionally trying to change a name, or, that part went too far. But as far as the rest of it goes, as a remake, I've seen some of the trailers. I hope it's good. Everybody out there, get a chance to see a little bit of the trailer. And if you get past what Snow White represented for the last, 300 years or 200 years or whatever it is now, I guess 200, it should be fine. And, and from a musical thing, as a musical, I heard it's pretty damn good. So I'm curious. I'm going to see it. And I'm excited about it. And I do believe once it's released, you know what? People are going to go, oh, okay. You know, it's the character doesn't have to be from the book and or from the 1930s, you know, an 80-year-old movie. It can be updated, and that's what they're doing without cause. So, you know, I just it kind of hit me from the last segment of talking of remakes and redos and all kinds of stuff. And we live in a different world. And just because a character was written as such doesn't mean we can't make a change to it. It's a freaking movie, okay? It's a movie. So with that, Izzy, so what do you got? What's going
on? Just laughing at this fucking...
No, I know we were chatting at the break because we'd had the thing the other day, some station changes, right?
Yeah, we got some changes to the station. I'm just laughing over here about the non-Snow White thing. Was reading the instant chat, and yeah, people are pretty pissed off about that movie. So
they're really hostile about that. There's no snow, and she's not white. That's what I've read, and that's what I hear all the time.
Yeah, so I mean, hey, I look at it like this, okay? If you're gonna do all those changes, just name it something else.
Yeah, they should have done that. They really, really should have. Instead of trying to shove it, they would have been better off if they would have done that. But you know what? And what I do know is a lot of the executives at Disney that did this aren't there anymore. They were shot in the head and pushed on because they were trying to, again, you know, the woke stuff that is dying now, fortunately. It's not necessary, and it needs to go. People need to be people. You know, they had to remake an awful lot of things in there to get rid of the stupidity. And that's why I say in the movie now, it generated a lot of bad press because the original release, I would tell you, I know reading it and talking to people that it would have failed miserably because it would have been nothing more than a political piece. So, and she deserves better because apparently she does a really good job. And yeah, they should have named it something different. It's Snow White. We're going to have to live with that name. But I hope it's good. I really, really do. And I hope it starts to break down a little bit, you know, of some, you know, stereotypes of things. And like I said, this one goes back, you know, 200 plus years. And people are, like she said, really possessive of the Snow White character and other things. And I get it. And if you try to change the biggest one people have, the dwarves, trying to label them as something else, like trying to call a woman a birthing person or, well, you know, shit like that, that doesn't fly. So I will give that one up. I want to see the movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it is what it is. I mean, it's like, for some reason in this day and age, you can't keep everybody happy. Everybody's got to bitch about something, or they didn't have this, or they didn't have this, or...
Yeah, so, but you know what? If the movie's good, that's what I'm hoping for. I just hope the movie's good.
Yeah. But on that note, yeah, there is an announcement we do have to make. Styling Radio is making some changes. Some people are asking about the morning show. Like we've said before, talk to us in the fall. We're making some changes over there. But the major changes that we are going to make is EDM Sunday. The Sunday party is now moving to Friday nights. So,
there you go.
So you're going to have Fast Fridays, you know, movie quotes and songs from the movies. That goes from it's 7 to 7 to 9.
There you go.
And then from 9 to 3 a.m. is the Styling Friday night party, right?
Yes.
So we've been working with the DJs, the marketing department. This has all been back and forth, and we're going to change up some stuff. EDM will be on Friday night. So it's not that we love the guys from Bounce House. Nothing's bad about that. They're still DJing, like on the drive time home, and hell, they're going to be DJing some of the EDM music, and of course on Saturday as well. But Sunday night, we're gonna do something that is very interesting. Sunday night will turn into Sunday Fun Day Disco Night.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be, and I know a lot of listeners are like, you guys are going to be playing a bunch of 70s music and nobody gives a shit. I beg to differ because I've heard these mixes. We've got samples in the office about it. There's been a lot of discussion about this. And as we've said, if we're going to do this, then how are we going to do it? You know, are we going to do it Friday night? And, you know, there's a lot of stuff that goes into the station. A lot of hands are involved on giving you the best marketing plan of what makes sense, okay? We didn't feel Disco Friday was, it kind of just isn't what exactly we want to do. But we're going to do 6 weeks of disco on Sunday night. It'll be like Studio 54, Stylin' Studio. That's not what it's called, but it's...
Yes.
There's a lot of new age disco, and we've known this for a long time. And a lot of the DJs that DJ, because there's fucking a fuck ton of DJs that work for the station. And you guys hear them. We used to have them on the lunchtime, but we changed that. And a lot of listeners are like, well, I like the DJs at lunch. Well, a lot of it is scheduling with the DJs and different stuff. And then it was running into a problem with the afternoon show because if somebody was running over and just yada, yada, yada. So the program directors all sat down with everybody and they said, this is what we're doing. And so, yes, this Sunday, it will be disco. It will be Sunday Fun Day Disco Party starting at 9 o'clock. So on Sunday, you'll hear Low and Slow Sunday, you know, the lowriders and stuff from,
yes.
you know, 6 to 9. But starting at 9 o'clock, these DJs, God damn, my English is bad today. It's all these energy drinks. So the DJs are going to be pumping up probably one of the wicked mixes, dance. I mean, I'm telling you, I heard the samples of this stuff, and I'm like, damn.
Well, and that's disco. No matter what era, it's badass dance music. I mean, that's where it erupted from, and it's still there today. Like you say, it's more of an underground event of stuff with things that are played. But man, that was. Some of it was unbelievable. As way back when it was a fad here and gone, when it was popular, the most popular music ever.
Yeah.
And movies about it and all kinds of stuff. You know, when I think of Saturday Night Fever and Flashdance. I mean, you can go way back of things. And the current stuff is just as good, but you don't hear it because... it's underground. So I'm glad we're doing it. I think people are going to be shocked at how good the music is. And yeah, there could be some way backers and some current, but no matter what it is, I guarantee you can dance to it. You're going to want to.
And Paul, you were in the meeting with us, and we were more like, well, play us a sample.
Yes.
And they had several different samples, and we kind of played this game where it's just like, look, we're going to click this one. And I personally feel, I don't feel that the DJs gave us their best. They gave us some fucking badass shit. Like some...
they gave us enough that...
Yeah.
And enough was enough to say, shit, if this is the minimum, then, oh, hell yeah.
What are you going to do when you actually go live,
Yes.
A lot of us were kind of speechless because we had several different playlists to pick from, and we clicked on one, and we didn't say who did the mix, but apparently that one was 3 different DJs that put that together. And when I say I don't feel that they did it to the craziest mix that they could do to sell us on it, they did it to where we would open our eyes and be like, damn, our listeners would go ape shit for this.
Yeah, and it's a little different, and that's good, but it's not out of the realm of different. I mean, it's good music, and that's popular, what we want to do. And I agree. You know what? I hope that the fans that tune in, if you listen to it, you're going to go, wow, Really.
Yeah,
And that's what we want.
in this station, you know, we primarily play 90s and 2000s music, some newer, some older. So when this was presented to this whole disco thing, and of course nobody wanted to talk about it. Hold on, I got a text. Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. I had to answer a text real quick. So anyway, you know, that was a big thing. You know, it was like when it was brought up around the office, and you know, because they were talking about like a Thursday night, and Paul was like, "Fuck you, you ain't taking my show."
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. And listen, it's alternative, and it's a version of alternative I know a lot about, but it's not.
But disco is not alternative rock music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it dominated music in a short period of time. I mean, everything. Shit, people may not know. It's like the album, the Bee Gees album, Saturday Night Fever. You know, their top two songs. I mean, they had a lot of songs that were number one, but they had Night Fever and Staying Alive. And at one point, they were 1 and 2 in the top 40 charts. And the second release came up and overtook the first one. And I'm going, you know, that album, it's like, it just dominated. And that for that era, when you mentioned Studio 54, man, people do a little research on that place and see what it was about.
Yeah, and the big thing is, you know, disco was a short span of a fad, and then things kind of changed in 82, you know what I'm saying? So, yes. So like I said, when this was presented to me, which I like disco, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think that it fit the station until they showed it to me. And I'm like, damn, our Sunday night listeners would go ape shit over this, you know what I'm saying? And so, and the DJs that we have on Sunday night, I mean, they're from around the world. We got guys in England and Europe and Australia and Brazil that DJ, but they were also the DJs that were like, dude, we can also do disco, but we can put a new twist to it where the listeners would just be cranking this up and not going to bed. So, you know, but we didn't want to get rid of the rave, I call it rave / EDM music. And one of the big things is, you know, everybody's like, well, what about Bounce House? You know, all those DJs, they still DJ on all kinds of other stuff. It's just, we're changing some stuff up. We're going to try 6 weeks of it. If you guys fucking hate it, you'll let us know. We know what you don't like. You tell us. So yes. We're only trying to make this better for everybody. But yet again, you know, there was discussions. Well, do we do the disco thing with Kicking It with Leslie? And she likes that music, but she's like, I don't think it fits the demographic that we listen to. It was brought up for a Thursday night college thing, and Paul was like, fuck you ain't taking away one of my shows.
Yeah, I'll do a different night with it if I have to, but nope, my nights are my nights. Yeah, we can do,
so,
and that's what we do.
And we can't do disco in the afternoon. We can't do disco in the morning. It makes no fucking sense. So, you know, this was the logical thing that I felt that was pretty good. And, you know, anything that we do a major change here at the station, people, we tell you. We're not going to all of a sudden just shove it in your face and be like, fuck you, listen to it, you know? So, but on that note, guys.
No. Yep, I'm not a nos. I'm tired. Yeah. It's late.
Yeah, we're getting out of this bitch. So.
And it's been a great Tuesday. Everybody out there, appreciate you. We'll be back Thursday. So what is it? Same bat time, same bat channel. If you go back a few years.
Yeah, same styling channel.
So. Same styling channel, same time. There won't be Disco Thursday. It will be pure adrenaline, believe me. And so, Izzy, this is, but for me, this is West Coast Paul out.
See you guys.